Zebras. Beautiful zebras. Hello friendlings, this is Claude from Chicago and we're back with another Planet Zoo time-lapse video. And if I am correct, this is episode 20 of FredTopia Zoo. And if you would like to see more FredTopia Zoo videos, check out the playlist in the description and you can check out all FredTopia Zoo videos. So, in the zoo, we wanted to do a zebra habitat for a very long time, and I was debating about putting the zebras in with our other animals like the elephant, the elephant, the ostrich, and all them. But we decided not to do that and give it its own habitat. And over here by the Indian area, next to the African area, there is a beautiful, beautiful habitat. So we decided to do something a little bit different. I did look up a design on YouTube before I started live streaming. I'm trying to look it up right now while I'm doing this time lapse. But they came up with a very unique design about how to make the walls more detailed. So as you see in the past, all the stuff that I did, it's just basic walls. And then when I watched this guy's video, it was Shift Z. I'll put it on the screen right now. This is his sort of design. I mean, it's not uniquely to him. He's obviously, I've seen this in a bunch of other zoos, but this is the first time I got super inspired by doing this. So I decided to just add this into our zoo, and it makes the wall so much more realistic. So I originally entailed to just not put any glass in there because I thought there would be an issue with the guests seeing stuff, but that is actually not an issue because I will come back through here and just make them just complete glass walls, and the guests will be able to see through them, like as the barrier themselves. So that makes this look a lot better than what I have. But this is what I'm talking about, the walls. So all I did was take these 4x4 pieces, and there's two of them this size. You can obviously use the 2x2s, and I think there's two of those as well. And you could just kind of mix and match. But in this case, I just did the 4x4s just in the front where the guests could see, and then one on the side over here to kind of hide this up. But yeah, just adding in like little bits of details like these into your zoo will really push your zoo, or if you're playing Planet Coaster as well, to the next level instead of using the basic sort of walls. Obviously, you would definitely see this in a real zoo and even in a city zoo, because the FredTopia Zoo is supposed to be a city zoo. You will see these sort of just realistic walls, even though we know that they're not real. The guests sort of feel that they're vibing, that they're in this African environment. So I used two types of stones on this sort of stone mound here. I'm not exactly sure what the names were. We'll add some different stones later on. And some of this time-lapse did get lost due to misrecording. But I wanted to make sure that this habitat had some water and that it had a little hill so that there's a little bit of a place the zebras can kind of de-stress. My original plan with these rocks was to build the facility behind it, but I decided to move the rocks a little bit more over so there's a lot more area for these zebras to hide. I'm not sure why, but maybe it's this habitat, but here's me putting those glass in, by the way, through the barrier itself. I'm not sure why, but the zebras in this habitat don't really seem to want to run around that much. I'm not sure if that's because I didn't build it large enough or something like that. I'm not too sure, but they are happy with the size and they are happy with all the amenities they have. To continue on with our African-themed build, we are going to be using the African pieces next to our lion habitat next door, and I'm going to be adding in just a very basic facility. I do this for all my builds, and I know if you watch a lot of these time-lapse videos, we get kind of repetitive on saying this, but I want to keep the realistic aspect of this in real life, or in this game, with the people being able to not see where the zebras sleep at night and giving the zebras a real sort of habitat, because I think realism in these games is not needed, but I like to add that in because those are all the content creators that I watch, because I think it would be realistic, because you come in the back, the zebras hide away if they're sick or something like that. If it's cold outside, they can stay in there and get warmed up. Maybe you can do special tours in the winter. I'm not too sure, and there's no concrete in the game, so I use rock to sort of make it look like concrete. For the flooring, over here there's a lot of they want short grass, put some dirt and some sand. I don't know, I don't put any sand, but I put some dirt over here to give the water a little bit more of a realistic vibe of just not being just grass than water, so that the zebras, you know, are climbing in and out. They will go in the water, and I think they do swim. Over here, there are some rubbing trees that these zebras like, and I wanted to do sort of a more foresty area by the building, as you see, and then on the other side, keep it a little bit more open and more open vibed. Inside of the habitat here, we put a little food feeding tray. I think we put a little water trough in the back, and then some hay and some leaves down to give it a little bit of different color. Add a few rocks and leaves on the outside near the glass windows so that the guests can see. And we did have a super mega tree there in the back. That wasn't them, but I didn't record it, and the game said, no, don't do that. So, because it doesn't match the habitat. Try to do a little bit of details there with some bushes along that little pathway. Decided to get rid of it because it just didn't look good. And apparently in the zoo, I don't put benches down a lot. I feel like I forget that, and I think I forgot the donation bins on this video. I always forget something. But we put some garbage bins and some benches down at least for now, and I'll come back and put some donation bins down. But I wanted to give this a little bit of an underhang as well, because we were doing this rock sort of formation thing on the outside, and realistically you would see something like this in real life. You would have as much shade as possible built on these rock formations, and it kind of gives like this half wall, kind of getting you away from the main pathway and allowing the guests to sort of see the zebras in peace, and also maybe not de-stress these zebras as well, because there's so many people walking down the main pathway. It really does depend on how your outlook on this is, but it just adds a little bit more detail to this park, breaking it up, giving you a little bit of a half wall, so that guests have to really go in there to see it and get their own little immersive experience. Now, we will be going to the live sections in a few short seconds, and at the end, we will have a couple glamour shots. But I wanted to dedicate this build to Zappy Zebra, one of our longtime viewers here on this channel. Thank you for all the support, Zappy Zebra. We're going to dedicate this build to you, and hope to see you around here in the far future. If you want to be dedicated to a build, just comment frequently, and maybe we'll make it happen. We'll go to the live shots right now. Fredlings, I hope you enjoyed that beautiful time lapse, and here in FredTopia Zoo, we have finally added the zebra. And the zebra is right behind our beautiful sort of chilling pond, hangout pond, and I used a design here of rocks to try to give it some unique design. Now, at the bottom left of the screen, you can see the actual creator that I drew inspiration from, and he had a wonderful zebra habitat, so I wanted to copy that with this stonework on the outside. But over here, you have there's four sections of look of 3 windows of the zebra habitat. You are able to see the scratching post in the tree area with rocks, and you can kind of see that building sort of hidden in the back. You can see the zebras over there doing their thing, eating. Then you kind of come down this sort of half-wall pathway here, where it's kind of hidden away and sort of not at the same time, so you can kind of still see over, but it kind of forces people to kind of be a little bit more secluded. But right over here you see the zebra going around and hitting his food enrichment ball, running in and out of the area to play. There's also a great little pond here they have the opportunity to hide away. Now, in the time-lapse section, there was this nice, beautiful tree, but apparently it's not native to the zebras, so I had to remove it. We are dedicating this to Zappy Zebra, of course. He's the one that I think came up with the original name for FredTopia Zoo, if I'm correct, in episode 1. And over here, we have actually an underhang sort of area. You kind of see this in zoos a lot, a little bit of underhangs. Get away from the rain and the sun, and it gives a nice little viewing section. And of course, in regular zoos as well, it's not the most prime area, but this does allow you to see the entirety of the zebra habitat for this exhibit, which is what I was going for on this. And then over here, it's sort of the quick, easy way to see the zebras if you're trying to go to the lion habitat or look at these at the same time. But we're going to walk inside here, and you can see that these zebras have a lot of food. I'll try to keep all the food enrichment stuff near the gate so that the keepers can come on in and replenish it and, give them all the stuff. They can swim in here. They can eat the food. And there's a little hill for them as well, too, so they can see up a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty simple in the backside. A lot of guests do like this window specifically. Inside here, of course, it is just like our normal sort of Interiors, very basic, bedding on the ground, food in here. But this is the zebra habitat, and I hope you Fredlings enjoy these beautiful zebras, because I love how they turn out. Yes, Fredlings, thank you so much for watching, and remember, a real Fredling makes their own luck.